The Oculus Quest 2 is probably the best VR headset I've ever bought. It's actually the only VR headset I've ever bought. At this point, Meta has released tons of updates to increase the functionality of the Oculus Quest. So this is the Oculus Quest 2 in 2022, and is it even worth it? I first bought the Oculus Quest 2 in June of 2021. I was super excited to play all the VR games and feel super immersed into whatever I was playing. I brought it back home with me with the money I got from Eid and unboxed it right away. I was so happy putting on the headset and setting up for the first time. I did not know what to feel. I got to mess around with the headset for a little bit until a devastating thought came to my mind. I had nothing to play. There was absolutely no way I spent more than $300 on a headset and was bored almost immediately. I took these frustrations and went to my PC to find some free games to play since everything in the Oculus store cost a little too much. I downloaded a few games here and there and had fun with them for a little, but that was only for a short time. Then came the first issue, the lack of free good games. The struggle was real and the amount of quality free games were so little at the time. Eventually, I just got frustrated and started saving up and buying games slowly but surely. My Oculus Quest was doing good for a while, but I had stumbled upon another issue, the battery life, but we'll get more into that later. For a while, Facebook was updating the Quest, adding loads of features, and it got to a point where it felt like they were adding way too many features. One notable update was the infamous V28 update, which included 120Hz support and AirLink, which was a way to connect to your computer wirelessly. This was great and all, but this was just the start of another problem I had. The problem was the battery life. The battery life was great and all at first, but with all these features like AirLink, hand tracking, and 120Hz, I just felt like my battery was just like a bowl of water being poured out in a matter of seconds. An easy solution to this would be just to buy a battery pack, but I didn't want to add the extra weight. Luckily, I found a solution to this, and it was to simply turn off all these features. I really didn't need AirLink because I had a cable to connect to my computer. I also didn't need hand tracking since I already had controllers to use, and 120Hz wasn't always necessary to begin with. Therefore, I was able to save a great portion of my battery life and actually start having more fun for longer. However, there was still one issue that was lingering with me since the very beginning. If we go back just 20 seconds ago, do you remember how I mentioned that I didn't want to buy a battery pack for the Quest because it would add extra weight to the headset? This was for good reason, as the Headstrap on the Quest 2 is one of the worst I have ever seen. For some odd reason, Facebook decided to pair the Oculus Quest 2 with the worst headstrap ever designed by man. I don't know why they strayed away from the original Quest headstrap design. Even that was way better than the Quest 2 strap, which front loads all the weight to the front of your head. In order to combat this, you have to pay $50 for their Elite strap or for something similar. But after a while, I simply just got used to it. I didn't want to cough up $50 for a head strap, and sometimes I would use the money for something else like a game or two. So this leads me to my final conclusion. The Oculus Quest 2 is a wonderful device at the end of the day. This headset was able to push mainstream VR to everyone, from old parents to young kids, and is one of the best things to ever happen to VR. The Quest is so good, in fact, it makes around 40% of Steam users for VR usage on the platform. There may be tons of things wrong with the Quest, but don't let that stop you from being something you should invest in if you're genuinely interested.